Weer is dit verleen vinnig aan, geen na die buitekant toe. Hierdie keer in die hande van Elers, grond toe gebring. Nou wil die verander van rigting nie. Weer is dit daar die kanonvoet van verleen. Hierdie keer is hy daar. En hy kan iets weer van afskie.
Right. Good day, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Schoolboy Bonanza. Of course, that was the kick that had the entire nation, the entire social media talking this entire 2 days. 60 meters drop goal by an 18-year-old boy from Monash. I can't get more excited, and you can't get better than that. What an incredible drop kick. And of course, that will also be one of the points of discussion in our talks and so much more. Once again, I'm so privileged to have the founder of Schoolboy Bonanza, the one and only Mr. Louis van Kopenhagen. How are you, Louis?
Good on you, Steve. Good evening to everyone. And what an amazing drop goal. It is something to treasure, I think, for the years to come, and just to see what talent we have within schoolboy rugby.
Absolutely. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible. It shows you that schoolboy rugby is alive and well. Today, of course, we are looking at this weekend's results, and we can have a look at all the matches that took place from Friday and Saturday. Some interesting results.
Yes. Right. So let's delve right into this. So just to see here, Waterkloof, Piet Retief, Oakdale, Abington. As we know, they are our giant slayers. A massive win for them.
Absolutely, and to top on that one, the Oakdale, they of course lost 38-7 to Great College. So they needed a statement win, a good, strong statement win. And what a great way, 50-0 against Uppington.
And then another one that's really climbing through the ranks, Stellenberg, 78-0, right?
Incredible. And of course, Stellenberg is now 6th in the rankings.
Yes.
They've moved up into the top 10, and they have moved up all the way onto number 6.
Yes. And then Parktown, St. Benedict's, that's very low scoring game, 13-6. Garsfontein, Noordheuwel, a lot of people spoke about this game as well. And I think the scoreline doesn't necessarily reflect what happened on the field. Then Jeppe St. David's, 62-14. And then the two neighbors.
Yeah, Case and St. John's.
36-12 to Case.
Of course, both of them are hosts to the Easter Festival. Case will have their own Easter Festival, and St. John's, which we, of course, will be attending. Our team will be attending on the Saturday, I believe, Louis.
Yes, we will be there on the Saturday at St. John's. We will be there for the whole day. So that's something I'm looking forward to, as we have been privileged to have had interviews with almost half of the teams that will be attending. So including Westlake and Nudgee College from Australia and New Zealand respectively. So I'm really looking forward to this Easter Festival. I think it's going to be something very different, because you've got not just one, but two schools from abroad attending the St. John's Festival. So that's very good. Then another big game, Pretoria Boys High, St. Stithians. St. Stithians, as we know, they will also have their Easter Festival at the same time. Then Menlo Park, St. Albans, to Pretoria Schools, 55-20.
Sure.
And then we move on to probably the talk of everyone over the course of this weekend, Grey College versus Monument. From my side, although we are within the Gauteng Lions province, but I really hope that Grey College Bloom would win, purely because we had an interview with the coach and we really know what they want to achieve this year.
Yeah.
And actually a very good game, very close game. And besides that massive drop goal from Mona's fly half, if you looked at the game, their left wing, when I saw him play and the way he ran, it reminded me of a Jonah Lomo almost.
Sure.
And then the one I had to swallow very hard, as I was vouching for Afis. But Paul Roos really brought the game. And I think Afis, they were probably mesmerized with the beautiful backdrop of Paul Roos. It is just such a beautiful venue, such a beautiful place to go and play rugby. So maybe this is what cost them the game, but take nothing away from Paul Roos. They really brought the game. And I believe you watched the game as well.
Yeah. Outstanding game. Paul Roos was dominant from the first half. Afis actually fought back well in the second half. They managed to bring it back at one stage to a 1 point. To a 1 point match. The wings, they've got two explosive wings, left wing and right wing, incredibly fast, and look out for them, strong and fast. But then Paul Roos just ran away with it. At one stage, they were ahead 45-23.
Yes.
And I thought, sure, poor Afis, they are going to get the hiding of their lives. Then at least they managed to score a consolation try. And then just at the end, they almost scored a try underneath the post. But incredible defense by the Paul Roos defenders.
Yes.
Managed to pull them away from the try line. And Paul Roos, well-deserved winners, 45-28.
And just to elaborate on that game as well, the fly half of Paul Roos really controlled the game from the back.
Yeah.
He marshaled the whole back line. He kicked when it was needed. He read the game very well. And I think also this was something Afis could not defend against, because no one knew what the fly half was going to do. And that was something very good to see, that you have a fly half who has got vision, who sees what the game is and makes a decision. And it was wonderful to see that the rest of the back line and then the forwards just follow what the fly half is doing. So well done on them. Kudos on the fly half of Paul Roos for that one. And then Paul Gim, Durbanville, 45-12. Paul Boys High, Outeniqua, 26-22. Again, a very close game. So, and as we know, Outeniqua last week ran riot against Nikomalan. But don't take anything away from them. They play good rugby, and last week's win was well deserved. But I think this was a very good game. Given a few more minutes, maybe it could have gone their way.
You never know. That's the magic of rugby. That's outstanding to watch games like that. And of course, Paul Boys are currently ranked number one of this weekend's performances. They're actually ranked #1 in South Africa. And in spite of Paul Roos's huge convincing victory against Affis, they are down to #6. And Great College, with that strong statement win against Monument, are up to #2.
Yes. Yes. Then Kersney versus Glenwood. As we know, Kersney will also have an Easter festival. So
Yes.
that's also going to be something to keep an eye on during the Easter festival. And then Westville versus Maritzburg College, Michael House versus Northwood. And then very interesting, Devon High School versus Hilton cancelled. Interesting on that.
Unfortunately, both of them are the two powerhouses of Natal rugby. Of course, Durban High School and Hilton were both, if I'm not mistaken, in the top 10 of last year.
Yes.
I know Durban High School was definitely, and Hilton also, or just outside. So quite unfortunate that match was cancelled. I was looking forward to that match.
Yes.
Westville, Maritzburg College, also two traditional rivals, also two of the giants of Natal rugby. And as you said, Kersney College, also one of the hosts for next week's Easter Festival, one of the 4 hosts of the Easter Festivals.
Correct. Then Welkom Potchefstroom 29-10, Sachs versus Brackenfell 41-12, Diamantveld 59, Voortrekker 20, St. Charles Clifton. Now, this was one of the standout games for me. I woke up and trying to get myself ready for the day, had my first cup of coffee, and sat here, and this was televised. Unfortunately, no commentary, so I had to improvise. But even though the scoreline says different, 38-7, but it was a very entertaining game. I really enjoyed this game. St. Charles, I think they really played well. Their backline is phenomenal once they get going, and they weren't scared to throw the ball around, which was very good to see. So this was really one of the games I enjoyed during this weekend. Then Nelspruit, Kempton Park, 25-15. Pearson, St. Andrews, 22-17. Nikomelan and Queen's College.
Yeah, it's a good comeback for Nikomelan after a heavy defeat against Outeniqua, 45-0.
Yes.
That's a strong statement to come back from such a heavy defeat with a good victory against Queen's College. And of course, that match was part of the Graham College Festival.
Yes.
Of course, a festival that was held this weekend featuring only the top Eastern Cape schools. So that's a strong way to come back after a heavy defeat. Follow it up with a good victory.
Yes.
Well done to Nikomelan.
Then Grey High versus Hudson Park, 33.
Of course, Grey High, one of your top schools in the Eastern Cape. Also, they've got that famous derby against Grey College every year. So that's a strong victory for them also.
Yes. And then Framesby Selborne. Now, Framesby, even last week, had a very good game. So this is one team I really want to keep my eye on for this year, because it seems they are making a statement, but very quietly. So I really hope they will perform well this year. I hope they have the stamina, the gas, and the go forward to go on and be a powerhouse for 2026.
Yeah, watch the space.
Watch this space. There we go. Right. Then Dale versus Brandwag, 27-24. Also a very close game.
Of course, the first game for Graham College versus Marlow. Graham College, of course, the host of the Graham College Festival, and we also had an interview
Yes.
with Graham College's coach, and what an interesting interview it was.
Yes.
Graham College is one of your top performing schools in South Africa. I think they're also well inside the top 100.
Yeah.
A school of only 350 pupils, but wow, aren't they competitive? And they are also invited to the St. John's Easter Festival,
Yes.
which is a huge privilege and honor, and shows you the competitive level of Graham College. So that's a strong victory against Marlow, 42-28, as the host, of course, of the Graham College Festival.
And then another game that I really enjoyed on Saturday morning was Daniel Pienaar and Sterling. 24 all at the end of the game. But at one stage, it looked like I think Daniel Pienaar, that they were ahead. And the way they were playing, they scored 2 tries within quick succession. And suddenly, Sterling got another gear. And right at the end, 24 all, it was really a very, very entertaining game to watch. Then we've got Kingswood and Cambridge, Woodridge and Mary Waters, Union High School 39, Port Rex 11. Another interesting game, another game that I watched early morning on Saturday, Muir College versus Auto du Plessis. In the beginning, in the first half, and probably the first part of the second half, it looked like Muir College is going to run away with this game. And Auto du Plessis clawed their way back, also with 2 very quick tries in succession right at the end. And the result, as we can see, 26-19. I think, again, if there maybe was 10 minutes, maybe Auto du Plessis could have sneaked a victory. But a fantastic game. Then we come to another game that really got me going on Saturday morning. This was probably, besides the 24 all, besides all the other games, this was probably the highlight. Port Alfred, I'm not going to even try to pronounce the other school's name, but what a fantastic game. Both teams came to play. Backline movements that you see within your big schools. They were not scared. They came to play. And even afterwards, the embracement between the 2 teams and the sportsmanship that was shown between the 2 teams really highlighted this game to me. And it basically set the benchmark for the rest of Saturday. And I was so happy after this game. And Steve, it was just something to see. And also, there wasn't much commentary, a little. So I heard, as we are always used to, the parents going crazy next to the field. This was very interesting. And then you just hear, yes, Han, go, tackle. It was actually very funny. And then
the Mzansi Academy against PJ Olivier, I actually watched that game. It was one of the opening games of the Graham College Festival.
Yes.
And a strong opening victory for Mzansi Academy against high school PJ Olivier, 3-5.
So, again, the standout games for me, if we look at Grey College, Monash Affy's Paul Roos, Otto du Plessis versus Muir College, St. Charles versus Clifton, Port Alfred, the Port Alfred game. So these were the 5 games that really stood out for me during this weekend. I was privileged to watch all of them. So you can just imagine from early morning, just watched rugby, schoolboy rugby, and then switched over to the URCs. I watched rugby
Yeah.
from, I think, 8 o'clock on Saturday morning until about 7, 8 o'clock on Saturday evening. So I was very, very happy.
What a festival of rugby and what a feast we were treated with. Besides that incredible dropkick, there were some amazing games. As I said, the Affys versus Paul Roos was also a game that stood out for me. And I was incredibly impressed by Affys' two wings. And I believe those are 2 wings to look out for in the future.
Yes. And also, um, from that game as well, um, the eighth man of Affys, a huge, huge man. He had a very good game. Um, and the scrum half of Affys as well. Um, Crisp service. And this is something I also want to get to before we carry on, is
Yeah,
something I saw especially with the smaller schools, as we can call it, in the morning. The scrum halves really had excellent service towards their fly half and the backline. They didn't sit and wait and think, okay, what am I going to do with this ball? The ball is out, they pass, and the backline went. And that's something I think we need to make more of a noise of, because even in the URC, even some of the bigger schools, the scrum half sit, and it's like you can go on holiday and they still haven't passed the ball. Now, if you want to get front foot ball, your scrum half needs to catch the other back line off guard by giving crisp
mm,
service, quick service, that it goes down to the line, that the wing has enough space. Okay, cool. I've got space, got the ball on speed, and I can run, right?
yeah,
So that
absolutely.
is something I found with the smaller schools during this weekend. And that's something I always look at, especially from the scrum half side. The scrum halves really gave crisp, good, quick ball to the back line, and then they can move. And you could see the other team was on the back foot. And then as the URC games came, and it's like, okay, anytime now, pass the ball. So I wonder if that's something we can try and make a fuss about, because it really frustrates me that the scrum half sits and you can go to Cape Town and come back, and he still hasn't passed the ball. So what
Yeah,
do we do?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah. And um, so that's basically a wrap for last week's results. And um, not much has been given about the upcoming games, except for the Nerd Site tournament that we've already covered in the previous episode. So,
absolutely.
um, the Nerd Site, as we know, it's going to be held at Affys this weekend. We are going to be there on the Saturday.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, I think it's going to be a cracker of a tournament. I think it's going to be a very good um, advertisement for schoolboy rugby and South African schoolboy rugby as a whole.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great way to kick off the rugby tournament. And if you think the past few weeks was exciting, look out for the next coming weeks. Incredible 2 weeks of rugby coming for school rugby. Noordside toernooi. And if you thought that was enough, wow, that's only the beginning of the beginning. The weekend afterwards, of course, is the Easter Festival. 4 incredible Easter festivals throughout South Africa. The Case Festival, the St. John's, where we also will be on the Saturday, our team.
Yes.
The Kirsty one in Durban. And then, of course, the St. Stadians one also. So the 3 Joburg neighbors, as well as the Durban College, 4 festivals that will be. And of course, on Monday, we will also have a special preview of the 3 festivals, the Kirsty Festival, the St. John's Festival, and the Case Festival. We will have a look at the teams as well as the fixtures. And then on Wednesday, of course, the Noordside tournament is being held on the Friday, the Saturday, and Monday. So Wednesday, we will officially discuss the matches, the results of the matches, the highlight, the standout matches, and also in the second half of the episode, we will also have a look on the St. John's Festival, which we will also be attending on the Saturday. If you're in the area of the Noordside tournament, you're at office, please come and
say
support
hello.
the teams. Come and say hello to us. If you want to recognize us, we will of course have this t-shirts. It's exactly the same like this logo of ours.
Yes.
We will have it on. And myself and Louis will be there, as well as our cameraman, and a couple of our esteemed panel will also be there. So come and come and say hello for us. Come support the boys. Give us a high five. Maybe take some pictures. It will be great to have you.
Yeah.
Of course, we also want to thank our wonderful members on our Facebook community. We are almost touching the 500 members. We are a growing community.
Amazing. I'm
Thank you. Super excited. I also would like to also highlight a couple of comments. As you know, I love to highlight a couple of comments. First of all, the first one, I also would like to say thank you. I would like to say thank you to each and everyone that is contributing. Ron Malcolm Ferris actually sent us a post of the rankings, and it's interesting to see the rankings right now. Paul Boys is number 1. Great College is at number 2. Paul Gim at number 3. Office are at 4. And then Stellenberg are the major movers and shakers. Of course, with that huge upset win 2 weeks back, they are up at 5th. Can you believe it? Paul Roos, our champions, are now down to number 6. Oakdale, 7th. Jeppy from Gauteng is also a new entry in the top 8. And of course, the 2 Durban Giants that we spoke about, unfortunately, the game got cancelled, but they are 9th and 10th. So that is also unfortunate that game was cancelled, but hopefully they will compete against each other later in the season. And then another comment that I also enjoyed, of course, is from, let me just go to it, sorry. Yes, here we go. Dave Brown from England commented that it's incredible to know that there are actually games that are televised in South Africa. We, of course, and he's referring to England, don't have it, unfortunately. And I think it just shows you again the talent and also the amazing showcase that Schoolboy Rugby in South Africa brings. You know, the fact that we can actually televise the game is absolutely just insane.
Yeah.
Then Schoolboy Fanatic also commented, if I can just get to that comment. Schoolboy Fanatic. Sport Fanatics wanted to know, and this is actually I actually enjoyed this comment by Sports Fanatic. Here we go. Aren't you one presenter from Office? No wonder he didn't speak much about this game. Well, I actually replied, he is going to speak about this game today in this episode, and our fellow presenter from office did speak about the game. Of course, he's referring to our Mr. Schoolboy Bonanza, who unfortunately lost out against one of the Paul Giants, against Paul Roos, the Stellenbosch
Stellenbosch Giants, yes.
So, so once again, I want to say thank you to our members for your wonderful comments. Please keep them coming. Peter's also asked me, why isn't there any Durban schools at the Noordside tournament? And it is unfortunate that there's no Durban schools participating at the Noordside tournament that I can see, but they will, of course, be participating at the various Easter school festivals.
Yes.
Including, of course, Kirsten College as the host, and I believe Durban High schools. I've seen a couple of the Natal schools at the Easter School Festival. So unfortunately, they're not at the Noordside tournament, but they will be at the Easter School Festivals. I also would like to give a special shout out to one of our top fans on our YouTube channel, the Van Rensburg brothers, Ruan and Ivan, that watches each and every episode commenting. Thank you so much, Ruan and Ivan Jansen van Rensburg. Thank you so much for your support. You are our super top fans. Also, special welcome, thanks to also the founder of the Rassie Rasmus page, Tishakan Govender, for allowing us to also share our episodes and our podcast on the group for the members to watch, as well as the leader of the Rassie Rasmus supporters group, Camille Erasmus, for her support to allow us. Special shout out then, of course, goes to our journalist, the one and only Mr. Anu, the legend himself. Thank you so much for his input, as being in charge of our online magazine, as well, also helping us with the interviews.
Yes.
And then, of course, the one and only Louis' beloved wife, Sarah van Kopenhagen, for her help and input with our magazine. She's helping with the layout of the magazine, as well as helping us with editing here and there where we are doing some editing, and also helping us with the uniform, supplying of the uniform. I believe we've got some new uniform coming up soon, Mr. Louis.
Yes, and I think we will be wearing them at the Noordside tournament. So
brilliant.
It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a surprise. It looks very good. So I tried it on, and I'm very pleased and very happy. So I think now we've got 2 uniforms to go by, and that's very good. That's very good.
Brilliant. Also would like to thank, of course, our cameraman, Brian Dudley, that will also be with us at the Noordside tournament, helping us with the camera work. Of course, we will have some live recordings, some interviews, and also maybe show you around the school, the supporters block, and the school, Afi School. So Brian Dudley will, of course, be our cameraman. And then we also would like to give a shout out to one of our promoters, and also one of the admins on the Schoolboy Bonanza, Elaine Hogan. She, of course, is promoting Schoolboy Rugby Bonanza in Ireland, and also helping us to also promote Schoolboy Rugby in Ireland. So thank you so much to Elaine. And then, of course, our wonderful members. Without you, we won't have a community. Without you, we won't have a show. So thank you so much to each and every one of you. That's it from us. Please tune in next week, of course. If you would like to catch up on many of our episodes, please have a look on our Facebook page on the Futures. It's tagged, as well as the link for our online magazine. You can also find on our Facebook group. And then next week, as I said, we will be focusing on the Easter festivals, as well as the Noordside, as well as the St. John's. But until then, have an awesome, super weekend coming ahead. If you're going to be at the Noordside, enjoy it. From our side, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.